Namaste, and welcome to this very first live in April. As I said last Sunday, I would feel into whether my reading on Sunday still stuck with the opening of April, and it did. It still does. There is this shaking up energy going on, but I will go deeper into that in just a little bit. We opened the door to April on Wednesday, and the energy was and is about the number 4, of course. And the number 4 is the Emperor. And it's happening in the 10th universal year. So we're looking into the number 14 in general, but with the male, with the Emperor leading. We're also in the month of Aries. And there is, again, the representation of Aries, of course, in the number 4, in the Emperor. So April is about unity. It's about balance. It's about how the masculine and feminine can come together, led by the masculine. The number 14 is that. It is communion. It is the connection between the male and the female, the masculine and the feminine. And it is, how do we mix alchemical stuff? Like, what is it that the female provides? What is it that the male provides? What is it that they can create together? We're talking the third energy here. When number 14 is reduced, we get the number 5, which in some decks is called the Pope, or in my deck, the Hierophant. And he has all of the tools through which, or to which, he can use to bring the two together. And today I brought the Good Tarot, and in this deck, he has a piece of paper, he has a feather like a pen, an ink, he has this cup or chalice, and there's 2 rings connected in the card. That goes back to the number 14, the unity of 2. It's also the infinity sign. We have to come to terms with how we each can become one, as in the unit, like the unity of the 2 rings, and in the infinity sign. How can we become one with still being and remaining 2 individuals? That is the alchemical process that we are being engaged with this month. But remember, it's the masculine taking the lead. It is very, very important. The female and the feminine is the follower. She's following his lead. That takes a heck of a lot of courage for the feminine. First of all, she needs to be able to trust him 100%. Otherwise, she can't follow him. She can't submit to his leadership. And for that process, it takes a heck of a lot of alchemical processing within herself. Also, there has to be chemistry between the 2. There has to be some kind of attraction. And for many of us, we just have come to terms with that when we unite with someone, it's based on trauma bonding. Like, we have unfinished trauma or unhealed trauma that wants to be healed. And we can't do it alone. We have to do it with someone else. And for many of us, that takes union. That takes that coming together of the 2. And it is, personally, I can say, it's a big job. It's a big job to figure out how we can connect and commit and be one, to become the channel and the channels as individuals as well of the third energy. Today is Easter Sunday, so also happy Easter. Michael and I just came back from church, and it's weird, this energy, because we've already been in the process of death and rebirth. We did that in March, so we're kind of ahead of the game here. So today it felt weird for me to be at church going, okay, then if it's not resurrection now, what is it? It is, but in a different way. So what I really noticed today when the priest was preaching was how Mary Magdalene came to the grave of Jesus and found him not to be there. Instead, she found an angel who said he is walking ahead of you, the rest of you, or the disciples to Galilee, and you will follow him there, meet him there. Again, what I really noticed was the male leadership and the female following. Mary Magdalene trusted and loved Jesus beyond measure. Thus, she knew exactly that when that was the message, she had to do it. She just did it without questioning, without doubt. She did it. As a female in this world, holding, first of all, the courage to be feminine, because it takes a heck of a lot of courage to do that, to not take control, to not take leadership, to just be receptive. That takes courage for a female, because can she trust the man that she's either with or the man that is in leadership in her life, who wants to take leadership in her life? It can be your boss, a manager. It can be a brother or a father or a friend. Do you trust them? Do you trust them enough to lay down your guards and your control and let them lead? To begin with, in this world, we feel unsafe, we feel unprotected, thus we have to guard ourselves. So it's a big process, and that is the process that April is going to be, I want to say, kind of throw us into. We don't stand a chance. We're going to have to deal with it one way or another. And I feel that it's difficult. I grew up in a world where it was hard to trust anyone. And especially with my life. That's another story that just came to me right now, that Jesus as love was killed on the cross by priests. People that you're supposed to be able to trust can take your love. People we are supposed to trust can take our love. That's how I interpret it. Jesus meaning love, God meaning life. And today, Christian, our priest, said that in reality, we live alone, we die alone. Nobody can feel what we feel. Nobody can feel the love that we hold. Nobody can feel the fear that we hold. We're in it all alone, except we can invite God in, God meaning life. And they may kill our love, but they can never take our life. Meaning, we are soul first and foremost, and we can ask God to walk with us through the pain, through the courage that we have to muster to live life, to live with God. So we ask God for that courage. We ask God to lead us. And maybe that is what you and I and everyone need to do this month. Maybe that's the primary masculine energy we have to follow and allow to lead us. That Jesus did not die on the cross alone. Love did not die alone. It did not die without life. It did not die without God. And death is real. Many of us, we have it in our lives. We've lost family members, friends. We know that death is real. And that resurrection might be real. But we don't really know, do we? For that, we need trust. And we need to trust that love can lead us to life, whether people want to kill it or not. We have met people who have killed our love, right? Who've broken our hearts. Yet, we're still alive, right? So in this energy of masculine leadership, it can be Jesus, it can be God, it can be a husband, a boyfriend, a brother, a father, a friend, whoever it is for you. Find the courage to trust. And if you don't trust, take it a little at a time. If you have a fear, go straight into it. As in, I have this fear concerning trusting you. Am I incorrect? Talk to the person and be real and be open. And that alone can help you. It's about solid ground. It's about finding our feet in it. So it's about submitting to what we can, but still with our feet solidly placed on the ground, still with God as our life, And with Jesus leading us through life, to real life. Because Jesus is love, we need that love to feel alive. And when we trust someone, we actually give them the ultimate love. And when that person that we lay our lives in the hands of has to respect that and love that and hold it and nurture it and keep it safe. Okay. What else do we have to look at? We have to look at today's number. Today we have the 5th of April. That adds up to a 9. 5 plus 4 is 9 in the 10th universal year. So today we have the sun, the number 19, and that reduces to the Wheel of Fortune. Here it is again. And that reduces to a number 1, the Magician. If we turn it around, the Magician is the beginner. It's a masculine energy that leads through all the different ways of communicating through the wheel, and we can see that as life, right? Death and rebirth, death, resurrection. It can also be like, I hurt you, now I resurrect and trust. There's this, it wants to go into the sun. It wants to go into communion, partnership, joy, play, happiness. But we also have to admit to ourselves, first and foremost, that we can't always just be happy-go-lucky. That's not life. Life offers pain and challenges and doubts and questions and all of that. That's what life is about. That's the wheel. The question is, do we connect with the Magician to say, okay, I'm going through this right now. What can I do to get out of that? What can I do to resurrect? What can I do to get into that feeling of joy and happiness? And maybe sometimes it also says to us, remember the sun is always shining somewhere, and that can uplift you in spirit. So these three cards from the major arcana connecting to the dates of today is this, it's almost like it feels like a promise, it feels like a promise, like this is a promise that if you try at least and do your best to master your own magician, your own tools in life, the tools that you have been given, the promise is that the sun will always shine upon you. And that when it doesn't, you're not walking the path alone. So, let's go deeper into it. I'm being guided to go deeper into the 5th. The number 5 today is the Hierophant. In the 4th month, the Emperor in the Wheel of Fortune year. We get 2 masculine energies today. And they represent energies that we are supposed to be able to trust. The Emperor, right? The king, the leader of the nation, the one who steps forward first, the one who leads his army into battle, the one who keeps his queen safe. So we're not talking Henry VIII here. And the Magician, the Hierophant, the Pope, representing your priest, the one who can bring people together, who's supposed to bring people together in communion, in community, who is the leader of the church, is the leader of faith, is the leader of religion. In the 10th universal year, again, that's where we have the Magician, again a masculine energy in the Wheel of Fortune. But the Wheel of Fortune is life for everyone, but it really, like today and this month, is all about how does the masculine lead? Does he lead with faith? Can you trust a man who does not trust his own spirituality, who does not trust his soul and connects with it and connects with God? Question mark. Or no? Can you trust that he will keep you safe? Can you trust that he will use the tools for communication, for living life the way he's supposed to. He can't do that without being connected to his soul. Can you trust him to lead you in life? Like, we have, I want to say, almost like the ultimate test for the masculine. We have been really feeling this energy that the masculine is being put on a quest here, and he is. Is he going to step up, or is he going to step down? The one you bet on, is he one who was worthy of you betting on him or not? Then let someone else take his place. So it's this really powerful masculine energy now. And all we can do as women, as feminine energies, is to kind of lean back and go, okay, prove yourself to me. Stand up. Show me that you are worthy of my trust and of my love and of my respect. Booyah. That's a big one for the masculine. The third month was very much about the feminine, right? Now we have the masculine. And it's a power, I want to say, they have the chance to make a power move now. And we might see some who's going to crawl into a cave and hide. It's going to be interesting to see who is which energy. We have a lot of wind here. And when my niece is here too, and she asked me, like, how do you do these readings, Auntie? Like, what is that about? And I said to her, well, for instance, we can just connect with the wind, and I can interpret the energy. I understand what it says. Because the wind here is really rough. Like, there's a heck of a lot of wind today. And we have had that for the past 2 days, and it's going to continue throughout tomorrow as well. We're being shook up, like shaken out of our old patterns so we can move into better and new ones. With that said, my father and his wife, and my brother and his wife and their children, except now Seal is here with us, they sailed out of Kossuth Harbor to go to a small island south of where we live. They can't sail because it's way too windy for them to sail home. They might not even be able to go back home tomorrow. They have not even been able to sleep these past, 3 nights. Why? Because of the wind. And they're sleeping on a boat, each of them, like they have their own boats. And it's interesting because who is it that stays awake? The men. Who makes sure that the boat is sealed good enough to the docks? The men. The women have been sleeping on and off. They haven't really slept a whole lot either, but the men have not slept at all. They've been up each night. And with pride, I can say that my brother and my father are stepping up as husbands and fathers to protect their family. Maybe the wind is giving them a new pattern that they can bring with them home so they can be leaders in their home in a different way. I don't know. We'll see. I might give you an update later on that, but it's interesting. So, do I need to say any more? No, I don't. I do not. So, let's move on to the Journey of Love deck, and let's see what it has for us this week. We get that again. Wow, the void. We got that for the feminine too, you remember? Now it's showing up for the masculine. It came up in I think it was the union spread. Actually, we shared that energy. Now there's an emphasis on it again, but I want to say this one's for the masculine. Like, but it's different this time. It says, do you remember the void? Do you remember what it felt like? Do you remember what I told you, God says? Do you remember the gifts I gave you? In this space, yes, you got the chance to rest. Now you're getting out of it. There's that energy. I know it still shows up, but it is a number 40 as well. I just saw that. That reduces to a 4, which is the Emperor, but we also have the Fool with the number 0. It is time for the masculine to get out of the void that they have been in, leave that, take leaps of faith, take risks, take chances, but not chances or risks that can hurt the family or the partner. Okay. Then I was guided to, the Magdalene Oracle again, because Mary Magdalene is very much in the energy today. She loved Jesus, so she followed him. She understood him because she loved him. She was more open to his words, to his wisdom, because she loved him. She had an open heart to receive. And we get the secret. The secret. The void next to the secret. I'm not going to read this card today. There's this energy, like I said, if I read that card, it's going to give you a wrong message. Now it's like you're being sucked out of the void, like you're coming out of it. You're coming out of it. That's the message. Done. But I will be going into the secret. Let's see what that tells us now. Here it is. The secret says, someone will soon confide in you, and the information they divulge may shock or disturb you. You may feel torn between the loyalties you have for two people, and this creates a dilemma for you. What is the right thing to do? Should you divulge the information or stay silent? In your heart, you will know. Ultimately, you must be true to yourself, for only in doing so can you be true to others. Revealing the truth will definitely cause upheaval, but eventually, as things settle down, your honesty and courage will be appreciated. Don't dwell on feelings of guilt. Express what is in your heart, for a hidden blessing is in store for all. As a result of the coming events, both you and others will feel a sense of relief. There are positive results for all concerned. However, these can only be actualized through courage and love. Emphasized. Courage and love. That was what I said, right? Here, it says that someone will confide in you. Okay. Someone will tell you something. Maybe that's the resurrection, right? Maybe they have to come clean about something. And the information they divulge may shock or disturb you. Okay. But we breathe, we ground. And remember, we're building trust. When we're building trust, we have to be honest with each other. That's the first, right? Should you divulge the information or stay silent? I would never stay silent. Because if we stay silent, we contribute to the secret. It's more important to be open and honest with each other, right? That's how we build trust. Ultimately, you must be true to yourself. Yes, always be true to yourself. But I don't think it's ever wrong to speak up about what you feel in your heart. But of course, yes, feel into it. But there's something in this that really connects to how do you create trust with someone. You speak your truth, you listen to their truth, you lean back as the feminine, you lean back and you notice what they do and not what they say. Because one thing is, if someone, let's play this story out. Someone comes to you and says, I'm so sorry I did this to you, I should never have done that, I apologize, can you forgive me? And you forgive them, and then they go and do the same all over again. You can't use that for anything, right? So trust actions. Notice people's actions. And notice your own. What do you do? Are you a trusting person? Are you a feminine receptivity? Or do you try to take control and control everything because you're afraid not to? Okay. The void is going to be done very soon. If not already, then it's coming clear very soon. And it's when I sense into the card, there's this feminine observant. She's observing what's going on. She's not doing anything. So maybe let's say that the void is for the feminine. I don't feel that she's remaining in the void either. She's more like on the outside of it, looking in and seeing the masculine being sucked out of that void. He's being moved. He's being pushed. He's being challenged. And he might not want to move. He might not walk all on his own. It's going to be a vacuum for him to be pulled out of. That's what I see, actually. No more laziness. No more not doing. No more not taking action. You are being pushed. Dear masculine, you're pushed to lead. You're pushed to find your other half. You're pushed to be more than you ever thought you could be. Yep. Okay. We need these, all of them. I'm going to read these at the end. Great. Okay. First, we get the Three of Earth. This is the collaboration. This is the working together. This is making things rise up and rising up individually to the occasion. Like creating the third energy. Get out of doubt. It does not do you any good. Get out of doubt. Be done with it. Be done with it. Cleanse, clear your mind. Be done with it. And that's what I feel with this wind that we have in Denmark right now. It's severe, and it wants to move the patterns that don't work, so we can move into the new patterns that do. And that is actually what it says right here. And there's healing, because the 10 plus the 7 equals 17. That's the star. And we get the 17 there, the 17 of swords that say, okay, let's cut away what is not working. Heal and be done. Heal and be done with it. And then we get the 6 of air. This talks about being moved out of your mind and into other areas of life, which, let's say, it can be emotional, it can be physical. It's also the thing about being moved out of a reality that sucks into an imaginary dream of creation and creativity. How can I change my circumstances in life? What can I do to move things about? Which ship do I fly out on? Right? I love that we have the ship in the wind. I just mentioned 2 ships, my dad's and my brother's, right? This is the, how do I get out of this? And then we get this entire stack of cards. Speaking of, and that's why I felt like we're being moved mentally into emotional connections. Like, who are you dreaming of? Like, what are you dreaming of? Who are you dreaming of? How do you want your life to be? Be solid with it. Don't doubt it. Get out of your mind that wants to doubt. Release the mental body and feel, what do you need? And be moved. Moving out of the mental body into the emotional one, that is actually the body that manifests things. And it's also the only one you can really trust. You can't trust this. It's filled with all kinds of shit. But your heart is not. Your heart knows. So, we're definitely being shook, to be pushed or sucked, and into this something old, yet something new. Something that reminds us of something, but still never met it before. That's going to be interesting. Moving into this one, this beautiful King of Fire. He's wearing his heart on his sleeve. He's very open about it, but he's trustworthy, this one. You can trust him. He's enlightened. He has a heart that is in the center of his life. He has the wisdom. He has the age and the wisdom to lead. This one you want to trust. And he shows up right next to this one, right? Looking towards that. This is the masculine empowerment. He cannot only be in his head. He has to get out of it and into his body, into his feelings. Because that's where he can lead from. Into the page of air, a message that's being brought through air. I always see the Holy Spirit in this. someone bringing you a message, an angel maybe. And that can be, remember this, a person knocking on your door, giving you a message. It can be a letter. It can also be an email or a text, or someone you meet at the grocery store who asks for your help. And then as it turns out, they end up helping you. Into number 14 from the Major Arcana. This month's number. Here it's called Patience. And it's a very feminine card, right? Who holds patience? The feminine does. But this actually calls for the patience. To be patient with the masculine, to be patient with yourself as you grow courage, to dare to connect with your leader who can keep you safe. There's a very, very important energy about the healing of the mental body. The thoughts that we have about certain things is either what we've been taught through life and the pain of life, or through trauma-like experiences or actual traumas that shape our mental structures. It also shapes our emotional body. And we can't think us into healing. We cannot feel us into healing either. But we have to feel that we deserve the healing so we can start changing our thoughts about it. So our bodies can physically transform into that healing process. Because it's all connected. It's all connected. But first, dare to open yourself up. And whether that is through asking questions that are necessary or being the one to answer other people's questions. So when they doubt you, that you can allow them to doubt you, and without being triggered by it, say, okay, I hear you. I will do my best to respond. And that might be that, no, I don't trust you. I don't really feel like having you in my life anymore. That can be a tough nut to crack, but sometimes we need to. Sometimes we need to say, I can feel that right now is not a good time for me to be connected with you, and that's okay. It can be that I have been carrying this secret for a long time. I've been carrying this within me, but I haven't really spoken my truth about it. Maybe now's the time. The guarantee that we're given now is that it's going to be best for everyone involved. Being moved into healing, being moved into collaboration, being moved from maybe a sore, bitter reality into imagination and potential manifestation. To consistently get information from above that you're on your right path. You are on the path. Trust. I will send you messages. Whenever you doubt, you will receive a message from an angel. From the Holy Spirit, I will make sure that you feel safe. Just ask. But remember, there's nothing wrong at asking. You don't have to sit and wait for the message to be brought to you. Dare ask. And maybe when we see these two together, maybe that is what that is. Shrining, like looking into the mirror. Shrying, like shrying in the mirror, shrying in the mirror of the water. What do you see? Maybe connecting with, give me some information through clear vision. What lies ahead? Who can I trust? And why? I will be patient with the answers. I know you're moving me. I know you're moving me into a beautiful healing where I don't get caught up in my own old patterns that are not good for me, but into pure collaboration and into the allowing of the third energy that wants to be in my life. As I'm being sucked out of the void, observing what's happening to the males, and maybe daring to be open about something I need to say, or be open towards something that someone needs to say to you. It's a severe week. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's going to be a severe week. It's going to be challenging, and for some, maybe even really hard. But remember that the only reason why it is that is because we hold resistance towards it. And the resistance is going to be the resistance towards creating the third energy, resistance towards healing, because we trust our minds. We want to control. The resistance towards acknowledging what we really need. Resistance towards the messages that we're getting. Resistance towards him. Can we trust him? Resistance towards being moved. How long do I need to be patient? It's all resistance. When we feel pain, it's resistance. And the very second we can release the resistance, we can live. So resistance comes from fear and the need to control, which is also coming from fear. And remember that fear is the opposite side of the coin of love. So as much as we can this coming week, we are to remember the love. The love that brings us into life. Because when we fear, we're not alive. When we love and we don't allow fear to be in our lives, we are already courageous. We don't even need to be courageous, because it's only when we are in fear that we need the courage. When we are in ultimate love and unconditional love, there's no fear. You can do anything. And that's, I think, it's going to be all of the energy this month. If you can do anything this month, love. Love. And when you feel fear, lean into it and look for the love. I don't know how we can bring the divine love into our lives just like that. I wish I could do it 24/7. I can't. I'm human. Which means I have an ego that's going to lead me into fear sometimes. And that can be nervousness, anxiety, pressure, stress, all of that, and much more. When Jesus is near, there's no fear at all. There's only love. And I wish I could hold that all the time. I can't. I wish I could. But the more I can say to myself that I want to feel that love that Jesus brought me, I want to feel that love which his presence provides. And if I can't find that, then I need to lean into the fear and ask to be released from it. What is it that it wants to tell me? Lean into it. And that takes courage, because it's only when we are afraid that we need courage to do things anyways. And what I feel is that the masculine, they're really going to be challenged this month. But that means that so are we. Because we need them to lead. We need them to protect. And we need them to provide. And if they don't, who are we then? Then we need to step into the masculine to be the provider, to be the protector. And that is not healthy for a female soul. Not at all. So what I do sense is that that's going to be the real challenge. Can we trust enough to surrender to the masculine leadership? Is he strong enough to do that for you? Will he step up to the plate? Or will he step down and hide in a cave? Yeah, this is when the sheep are being split from the goats, or whatever it's called. It's an interesting energy. So stick to your guns, stick to your presence, be present, meditate a whole lot this month. Breathe, expand your lung capacity, and just exhale. Really exhale. Relax, exhale. You will be fine. You will be fine. And ask Jesus or God or Buddha or whoever you connect with to bring you that peace, that serenity where you get to relax and feel safe. And then occasionally find the courage to confront your fears so you make more room for love. Yeah. Breathe. And remember this one. This is going to be very, very important this month. Inhale through the nose, hold your breath a little, and sigh on the exhalation. And put sound to it. That detraumatizes your muscles. And really let go. And sometimes it helps to raise your shoulders towards the ears on the inhalation, like, and release. That's going to help you this month. Ground, ground, ground. Especially during times of a lot of wind. Ground. Grow roots like a big old oak tree. Grow deep, strong roots so you won't be knocked over. And you just do that through visualizing it. Simply close your eyes, see yourself as that big tree, and grow roots. Breathe. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. If you feel emotionally disturbed, emotionally rocking, remember that waves come from either the earth shaking, so something in your physicality is being challenged. It can be, let's say you get the flu, or you get a back pain, or something. It's going to shake you, and it's going to do something to your emotional body, like an upheaval where waves are rising. It can also be the wind rising the waves, which means your mental body. That's going to be that, rising your waves. How do you calm yourself? If it comes through the body, tend to your body. Go to the root of the cause. Don't just treat the symptoms. Go to the root of the cause, what's causing this. Don't just take painkillers or fever-reducing medicine. Allow everything to be felt. Let it burn. And appreciate what it's doing. Calm yourself. It can be maybe drinking a cup of chamomile tea. Smell lavender or mint oil. Something that releases you or relieves your body. If it is the mental structure, winds causing the emotional upheaval, you need to turn your mind off as much as possible. Meditate. Meditate, breathe. Focus on your breathing and count in, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you occupy this one with counting, because it can only think one thought at a time. One thing's for certain, it's not going to be your soul causing any emotional upheaval. But if you meditate, and if you see in that visualization that you are the tree, and you find that calmness, and you get a vision, that can be like, revelation or epiphany, or that can be an emotional upheaval, but it's going to be feeling good. So this month, ground yourself in the physical element, in the earth, and let yourself, it's almost like this. You're being straightened out. You're being uplifted at the same time as you're being held to the earth. So you're not going to lose yourself just into spirit, because we need the physicality while we're here. So remember your breathing, even when you have this epiphany or revelation, like, wow, breathe. Don't be possessed by it. Allow the miracle of whatever it was for you to move in. Like, what does that mean in my life? Why is that such a revelation? What is the epiphany about? Was it because I finally reconnected with my soul and it connected to my heart and it told me a truth I didn't even acknowledge before? Sit with it. Write a journal. I do that almost daily. I write stuff down, my dreams, my thoughts, my feelings, and I allow everything to be. And this is the month for that. Do everything you can to connect with everything that you are, and acknowledge where the upheaval is coming from, and then move it through breathing practices, grounding practices, meditation, and release. You probably remember this old one as well that I taught you. It can be a box of matches, or salt is so good. Salt is so good. You grab some salt and you put all of that into it that you want to let go of, and then you throw it backwards and you move ahead. Don't go back. Or just let go. I let go of this. As much as the physical body can help you with what you need to do, you're manifesting it as you go. Happy, happy Easter. Happy month of Aries. Fire is on. Happy month for the masculine quest, for the feminine observation, for the feminine calmness, for the feminine patience, for the feminine acknowledgement of everything that she is, and her mastering her way through everything. Because she knows. You've just been told, and you already knew. If you've been following me for a while, you know exactly the tools I just shared with you. They are important to remember on a daily basis this month, and in particular this week. But this month, the game is on. Union, communion, coming together. We need the men to step up, and women to receive and follow. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.